With every new expansion comes an increase to the power level, and Witch Queen is no exception to that rule. But today I'm going to have a look at the power levels, what the new power level caps are for Witch Queen, plus some tips on how to level up quickly so you can get stuck into the endgame content as soon as possible. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, power level is all important in Destiny 2, as this determines how much damage you dish out to enemies, as well as how much damage you receive. If you're under power level, then going into more difficult content is going to be near impossible, so you're going to want to put in some hours to raise your overall power level in the game to make sure you can get to that endgame content, which is going to give you the best rewards the game has to offer. Well, first up today, let's have a look at what the power level is. So to check out your power level in the game, you head on over to your character screen. So you've got 8 gear slots in total that matter to your overall power level. That includes your weapons and your armor, and artifact power does matter too, but I'm going to cover that specifically later on in the guide. Your overall power level is calculated from your average gear score, so you're going to want to have the highest power level item equipped in each slot to raise your overall power level. For example, on my Guardian here, I've got all gear including my weapons and armor powered up to 1330, and that gives me an average of 1330 overall. Your objective is to run through the content like the campaign, playlist activities, Nightfalls, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, and Gambit, so everything the game has to offer, collect loot, and raise your overall power level. Well, some activities in Destiny 2 have different power level requirements. For example, regular strikes are going to be much easier than Nightfalls because the power level requirements are much lower for strikes. The trade-off is that you're going to get better rewards from the harder content, meaning you're going to be able to level up faster. So ideally you should aim to be as close as possible with the entry level requirements of an activity, and that is going to allow you to take on the enemies. If your power level is too low, then damaging the enemies is going to be really tough, and you are going to end up really frustrated. Well, next up, let's have a look at the power level caps going into the Witch Queen. So in the Witch Queen, the power levels have been updated, and when you log in after the 22nd of February 2022 to Destiny 2, everything is going to be updated. So that means all your gear on your character and also all of your gear in your vault as well. So before we jump into it, there's a few terms here which we should discuss, and that includes the power minimum, the soft cap, the hard cap, and also the pinnacle cap. First up, let's have a look at the power minimum. So all gear is going to be raised to 1350, and that is at least 20 power levels above anything that we've got right now. This is going to be the new minimum score for all items in the game, and that includes all of the gear you've got now, and as I mentioned before, all of your gear in your vault. So next up we got the soft cap, and this is going to be raised to 1500. So as you journey from 1350 to 1500, every piece of loot you collect in the game is going to raise your power levels. So that includes loot from rare and legendary items, and you will be able to reach the soft cap by playing any activity in the game, and that includes the campaign, strikes, Crucible, Gambit, and also seasonal activities too. And you will hit a point where you won't be able to level up anymore, and that's the indication that you've hit the soft cap of 1500. Well, next up we've got the hard cap. So once you've reached the soft cap of 1500, you are going to want to push through that by earning powerful rewards and start working your way towards the hard cap of 1550. So you can see the powerful rewards via the director as you inspect various activities in the game. So going from 1500 to 1550, that is going to take a little bit more time than it took to get from 1350 to 1500. So what you want to do is have a look around the tower, also the planets and the moons, inspect the activities, and you're going to be able to see the level of rewards that you will be getting. On your way to 1550, what you want to do is focus on those powerful reward sources. Well, next up we got the pinnacle cap. So when you reach 1550, you're going to be wanting to do pinnacle activities indicated by the yellow circle icon on the director. Then you're going to be able to push through the hard cap of 1550 and work your way to the pinnacle cap of 1560. And this is going to be the highest base level you can reach as the Witch Queen releases. So as these seasons progress over the year, I do expect them to increase in 10 each time, but 1560 is going to be your goal. So pinnacle rewards can be found by running endgame activities like raids, Nightfalls, plus also seasonal content too. Bungie is very likely to introduce some new activities for pinnacle sources, so keep an eye out on your director and look for those yellow circle icons. For example, once per week per character you can get pinnacle drops for doing 3 strikes with the right subclass, completing 3 Crucible matches, and also completing 3 Gambit matches too. Well, next up, let's have a look at artifact power. So another element of your overall power level is your artifact power. So each season we get an item from a vendor, and that is called the artifact. So this is really important because leveling up our artifact not only gives us useful mods that can be attached to our weapons, but also by gathering XP we can raise the artifact power score, and that affects our overall power level score for our Guardian. Arguably, this is much more powerful than our gear because we're not having to take an average score here, we're simply gathering XP to level up as we go. So that is why you see Guardians with a higher power level than the pinnacle cap in the game. For example, my Guardian here has an overall power level of 1350. 1330 of that power comes from my average gear score, and then I've got an additional 20 power levels that come from my artifact. Well, to level up the artifact, you have to complete bounties and other activities in the game. So each vendor around the planets and the moons, they give out bounties, normally weekly, daily, and additional bounties too. And the weekly bounties, they're going to offer more XP, plus you get XP by completing the campaign, and also loads of other activities as well. Well, that is a little bit of a tutorial about what the power level is, the power level caps, and also the artifact power. Well, next up, let's have a look at some tips and tricks for leveling up quickly when the Witch Queen comes out. Well, our first priority is going to be getting to the 1500 soft cap. So what you want to do is start on your main Guardian first. So if you're only leveling up 1 Guardian, this doesn't really matter too much. However, if you're planning on leveling up 3 Guardians, then order does matter. In the first week of the expansion releasing, you are going to be wanting to start with your main Guardian. Once you've selected your Guardian, you want to run through the campaign. So you can start on the normal mode if you're running solo, or you don't fancy the legendary mode campaign, and it is likely you're going to end up somewhere near the soft cap when you finish that normal campaign. If you're not near the 1500 soft cap at the end of the campaign, you can top up your power through strikes, Crucible and Gambit, plus you've got lost sectors and also public events too. So if you've got a team together and you want a real challenge, then you could always run the legendary campaign. So this is a new feature of the Witch Queen, and this is going to give you loads more loot, XP, Throne World armor, plus you've got exclusive Bungie rewards, which are going to be announced later on. So doing the legendary campaign is going to help you level up quickly towards that soft cap. So if you've been saving bounties, then you can turn them in here, but make sure you've got a specific ghost mod on. You either want Guiding Light, that increases XP gains by 10%, or Blinding Light, that increases XP gains by 12%, although that other one is a fragile mod. Plus try and be in a fire team as you get extra XP, and that is going to really help you level up your artifact and get more power levels quickly. Well, getting to the soft cap is going to open up powerful and pinnacle rewards on your director, plus you've got something called the Prime Attunement, and that allows you to get Prime Engrams as random drops, further boosting your power levels. So as soon as you get a Prime Engram, go back to the tower, open it up, and that is going to help you overall. So if you're only leveling up 1 Guardian, then you can move on to the powerful rewards and the climb to 1550 at this point. However, if you want to level up multiple Guardians, then just repeat the process and get all of your Guardians to 1500, and then open up those powerful and pinnacle reward sources. Well, next up, you want to get to the 1550 hard cap, so again, start on your main character in that first week. You want to be looking for powerful rewards, and there are different tiers of powerful rewards. For example, if you have a look on the director and go around the planets and the moons and look at the activities, you can see different tiers, so tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 powerful rewards. So tier 1 powerful rewards give you a +3 reward related to your current power level, tier 2 gives you a +4, and tier 3 gives you a +5. So what you want to do then is run some powerful reward activities and then even out your gear as you go. So a great way to even out your gear is through competitive PvP, as you're going to get plenty of powerful rewards at the end of the Crucible matches. So what you want to do is search around the director for these powerful reward sources, and you can always top up through strikes, Crucible and Gambit. So simply repeat the process on your other characters you want to level up until the end of the first week. Well, next up, you want to get to 1560, the pinnacle cap. So work through your pinnacle sources that are available to you and check out the director for those yellow circle icons. So again, if you're only doing a single character and you're not going for the raid, then just keep leveling up through powerful and pinnacle sources until you reach the pinnacle cap. So I think for most players, you probably won't reach the pinnacle cap until a few weeks into the season. It's only the real hardcore day 1 raiders out there who are going to want to power level and level up quickly. So if you are running 3 characters, then at the end of the first week, and this is going to be Tuesday, March the 1st, you want to switch to your 3rd character, level them up first, then you want to end up with your main Guardian leveled up last as you work towards the raid. And the raid actually comes out on Saturday the 5th of March, so you can have a full 5 days to level up if you're going for that day 1 raid completion. So the reason why you want to do your 3rd character first is because you want to swap your gear over to your main Guardian, so you end up with your main Guardian having the highest level possible in time for that raid on Saturday the 5th of March. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of this power leveling guide in Destiny 2's Witch Queen, and if you've got any tips to share, let us know in the comments. Well, that is it for this guide for how to level up to 1560 fast in the Witch Queen, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.